let's go ahead and get started, guys. We got our leaders on this call. I'm extremely excited. We're going to jump right into this, everyone, just because I think today's training is going to require some time in a very good way. You know, last week we had an amazing training, giving everyone a challenge, talking about the difference between, you know, leadership and marketing, talking about things that happened at the Platinum 1000 retreat. And this week, I think we have a action step that you can really take advantage of. And I actually personally requested the speaker for this call because I think she's one of the best to do it, or has at least grown the most in this specific area. You know, last week when Nancy opened up the call, I kind of edified her as the queen of proximity, right? Honestly, the queen of frequency. You know, when Nancy desires something, she gets herself on the frequency first, and inevitably it comes into her life, whether it's relationships, it's business, it's investments, it's things for family. Her goals get achieved. And this is why you can't just wish things. You just can't have good intentions, right? You have to have an intensity to your desire, and you have to be willing to take massive action on it. And I think Nancy's one of those individuals that always takes massive action. And it's more than just for her organization. You know, when I asked her to do this call, she said, you know what? I'm actually going to have Mike send this out to different leadership chats because I believe this is information that I can abundantly share, even though it's something I know is going to help every single person's team and it's helping me. I'm going to share it to everyone so everyone can take advantage of it. And because of that giving desire, that abundance mindset, that lack of scarcity, right? The results are there. You know, I've been watching Nancy over the past couple of weeks, and you know, her content game, I think, is one of the best in Prime. And the reason why I asked her to do this call today and train each and every single one of you is because I want her to be the one to break down how she's been able to push out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of content a day across multiple different platforms, on top of trading, on top of building the team, on top of helping Mike and I, on top of being a girlfriend, on top of being a sister, on top of being a friend, on top of all these other things. She's been able to do all of this because she's created a system that has worked. And so I'm just really excited. I'm really happy and grateful that she's doing this for us, because at the end of the day, this really doesn't benefit her and her specific organization. She's going above and beyond, and not only just helping Prime, but creating this recording so that so many other teams and organizations can help bring this to $1 billion company. And for that reason and that reason alone, I know she's going to be a massive part of this company's success. So with that being said, guys, really, really, really for the next hour, pay attention, because whether you take advantage of what's here or not, that's on you. The information is going to be shared, but it's going to be completely up to you. This training, this hour, this webinar, none of this information is going to change your life unless you actually take the first step to change it yourself. And so with that being said, I'm going to step out the way of greatness. Nancy, I'm going to let you take over. Kill it for us.
Let's go. We're taking this to a billion families worldwide. Thank you, Tim, for the introduction and for honestly just like hyping me up. I appreciate it. So guys, what I have for you today is going to be something definitely worth noting down, definitely worth screenshotting, and definitely worth applying immediately after this. This is something that I've kind of put together, just like diving deep into the rabbit hole that is social media, TikTok, all those fun stuff. Like I do it with intention so that I can apply, and then of course that I can duplicate, because that's what's really important to me. So before we even get started, let me know what it is that you guys are grateful for. I'd like to start off on a engaging note and something that's just going to make us feel good. So today I am grateful for my Starbucks. I am grateful for my hat hair. I am grateful for family time. I love that. I'm grateful for you guys for being on here every single Sunday, same time, same place. This is where consistency shows. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, and you guys know me, I have a cute little presentation. So let's go ahead and present. All right, someone give me a thumbs up. Well, you guys have your cameras off. So if someone can write a 1 in the chat, if you can see my screen, that would be great. Perfect, thank you so much. All right, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about social media, specifically diving into TikTok, because social media, you guys should know that it's not just one platform. There's a plethora of platforms. We have Instagram that has been around for about 10 years. We have Facebook that has been around for a lot longer. I'm not going to age myself. We used to have MySpace. We have Pinterest. We have YouTube. We have LinkedIn. These are all mediums of connecting with other people. So today we're just going to be diving into TikTok. All right, table of contents. I'm just really organized and it was a really cute template. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. All right, so we're in the digital era, right? What a time to be alive. We're literally hundreds of millions of people are online, engaging, consuming, and also producing. So it's definitely one of the most, if not the most, socially connected times in history. And it's been able to, more than anything, more than just connect people, it's been able to introduce people to concepts that they otherwise wouldn't have known. I hope I have some like light bulbs clicking at this point, because maybe you are here because you saw this on a social media post. Maybe you saw Mike, maybe you saw Tim, maybe you saw Taylor, maybe you saw somebody else. But if you hadn't seen them on social media, there's a good chance you might not be here. Not only that, but social media has changed the way that major companies do their marketing. I want you guys to think about the big guns. Think about, okay, so back when, I used to stay up way too late, way past my bedtime. And after a certain hour, there wouldn't be like cartoons on TV anymore. There would be infomercials. So back then, companies would do infomercials, which is basically a 30-minute long commercial, just selling their product, how it's used, how it can be applied, what can it be paired with, so on and so forth. Then, of course, we have the commercials that are maybe anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds long that also do the same thing, right? And then even more so, we had door-to-door sales, things like that. So social media is changing the way that we do our marketing, not just on a small business level, but on a macro, like huge level when it comes to commercialization. All right, so let's get into content. There are two major types of content. I believe that everything can fall into one of these two categories. Number one is entertainment, right? If you think of TikTok, I can arguably bet, or I could bet that most of you are thinking about, I don't know, people dancing in front of their phone, right? It's entertainment. Type two is informative. So I bet you anything that you're consuming on TikTok is doing one of these two things. And if you guys find out another one, then you for sure just let me know. But what does this do? This causes some kind of reaction from the audience. We want to cause a reaction, right? We want to, for lack of better wording, stir the pot. We want to get people to do something, whether it be to follow you, to stay until the end of the video, to comment, to just stay on TikTok longer. Everything has an effect. So we want to cause that effect. So I want you guys to think about when you are on TikTok, I want you guys to be intentional with what it is that you are consuming. You know, is this likable? Is this shareable? Am I sending it to my friends? Why am I sending it to my friends? Why did I watch the entire thing? Why did I watch it twice, right? What caused that kind of reaction? And then just taking it a level deeper, why? Because, well, there's a TikTok algorithm, right? We throw around this word algorithm all the time, but the reason being is because that algorithm is telling that algorithm is putting people at the top or people at the bottom of some certain kind of list. And we want to move closer to the top, because the closer that we are to the top, the more eyes we have on us. Because basically TikTok is saying, okay, these people are creating content that causes reactions, that gets people to stay on the platform so much longer. And that's what they do, right? TikTok is a platform. They want to keep people on their platform, hence, or therefore, retention. Awesome. So what are some things that cause reactions? Humor. You know, you see something that's just like really funny, and then you just put the laughing emojis in the comments, right? Or you send it to your friend, or you send it to your sister, or you send it to the group chat, right? That's exactly what it is that we want to do. So you can use it with humor. Another way that you can do it on the opposite side of the spectrum would be vulnerable stories. When was the last time that you or someone you know, or just maybe something you saw, posted a story opening up and just kind of like being really real with people? People appreciate that, because I mean, I think that there's power in vulnerability. So when you open up maybe a little bit about your story, or maybe some things that have happened to you. I have a friend, I don't know if she's on here, but she had a surgery go wrong. Like, so she got LASIK, and so she got LASIK, and then it was going well for a few months. And then now her eyes are basically permanently damaged. So she opens up and she talks about this. people are always commenting about like, oh my gosh, I had no idea this would happen, or like, I hope you're doing okay, or you're so strong. They're reacting, right? They're commenting on her post, and more than anything, they're keeping up with her content because they know that she's going to be posting about that. Even if it doesn't affect you at all, even if you have 20/20 vision, people are still keeping tabs on the story, the ongoing story. So that's something that we can also apply. And then another thing that will cause reaction is providing value. But notice how it has a plus there. It's providing value, but also having a call to action. Without a call to action, people just don't know what to do. It's kind of like, you know, how we say knowledge isn't power, applied knowledge is power. You can give people the knowledge, but then they just have the knowledge. You have to tell them, hey, here's what to do with it. Here's how you have more of it. Here's how you can go and apply it. Here's how you can share this with somebody else so that they should also know about what I just provided to you, right? So giving value with a call to action also causes that action. All right, and then there are 3 formats of TikTok. This I actually got from Leanne, queen of social media as well. And I just learned things from different people. I learned what I like. I learned what makes sense. So all of this that I'm giving to you is things that make sense to me because I've put the pieces together from different just people that have been doing this longer than I have, right? So number 1 is speaking into the camera. This is where you just get your phone, you put it on a tripod. You don't even need a tripod. You could just speak directly to the camera. You can have a little caption things under there, but people want to see your face because psychologically speaking, if they don't see your face, they don't know if they can trust you. So we want to be able to show our face and say, hey, this is who I am. I'm putting my reputation on the line because this is what I believe in. People are more likely to give you credibility when you show face. So this can be either providing value, it could be telling a story, right? Second format is writing trends. So this could be dancing, it could be anything else that's going on TikTok that just, you guys get it, like something just catches a trend and now it's a thing. And it could be the most random thing ever, but that's what happens. So you can go ahead and ride that wave as well. And then the third thing is going to be simple text. So literally, this is just, I could literally just open up my camera on my phone, take maybe like a 4-second video, and then upload this video and then just put text on it. And it can be giving a story, or it can be providing value, or it could just be like some motivation. I'm sure you guys have seen that where you see like a nice view and then it says, you know, wishing you abundance, or anyone that reacts to this is going to get, you know, a lit 2023 or something like that. So this can all be used, but it can also be reused, which is so much better because I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that writer's block or that creator's block where you're just like, I don't know what to post. Well, what you can actually do is you can go back to your previous post and then just recycle that information and put it into a different format. So if you made a video of you talking into the screen and saying, hey, these are the 3 things that helped me in my trading journey, guess what? You can put that into text. And you can find some kind of trend that goes along with it and then find a way to like implement that trend and what the value that you're providing. Let me know in the chat, guys, if this is making sense, because the cool thing about this is that you don't run out of content ideas. You can just keep on repeating and repeating. And actually what I've found is that the audience on TikTok loves repetition. Like I literally was scrolling, embarrassing, right? But I was literally scrolling on this chick's page, and she did the exact same trend, like the same video, but it wasn't the same video. I saw it at least 5 times on her page, and each and every single one of them got like hundreds of thousands of likes. So I'm just like, she already did this. And I'm my own worst critic. So sometimes I'm just like, oh, I already did that. I'm not gonna do it again. But there are literally hundreds of thousands of people that didn't see it the first time. So do it again. All right, so enough of that. Recycle, reuse your content. There's absolutely no shame in it. In fact, the audience loves it. Next thing, if you don't know what this image is, then it's just showing my age. I hope everyone knows what this image is. The Krabby Patty secret formula. So the formula is this: hook, story, call to action. Hook, story, call to action. Hook, story, call to action. So when someone is scrolling on TikTok, why are they going to stop on your video? Like, I'm sure you guys have heard that you have about 3 to 4 seconds to catch someone's attention, or they'll continue to scroll, or they'll continue to look away. So that is absolutely true. And I find myself doing that all the time too. It's just like, okay, this didn't catch my attention. This didn't catch my attention. There could be value there, but human beings, we're getting more and more goldfish-like. So we want something that catches our attention instantaneously within the first 3 seconds. So that's going to be what your hook does. Your hook is going to get people's attention, hook them into watching your video. And then of course, we want to have some kind of story or provide some kind of value. We want people to watch until the end. That's another thing. Whether your video is 7 seconds or 70 seconds, we want people to watch to the end. So how are we going to get them to watch until the very end? Well, a tip that I can give you guys is don't give away the goodies in the first 4 seconds. Give away the goodies at the very end so that they have to stay until the end. And then call to action. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but repetition is the king of learning. So tell people what to do. If you don't tell them what to do, they don't know what to do. I like being told what to do. So when people, and I've tested this on myself, is like when people put, follow for more content, or when they put, check out my other videos, I am a lot more likely to check out their other videos. I do. So there's no shame in putting that. Go ahead and put that, but we want to have a call to action. All right. So I'm sure you have heard the word niche plenty of times, but what I found is, okay, is a niche 100% necessary? No, there is no exact, this works for every single type of thing kind of template. It'll work for the majority of people, but all I'm saying is that, can you do things in a way that's not this way? Yeah, sure. There are some people that just post stories and they have thousands of followers. I don't get it, but that's okay. But what I found is working for me and the people that I'm following is niching down, getting really specific. I saw this thing that, I forgot her name, but something that she said was, when you are consistently posting 3 to 5 hashtags on every one of your posts, but they're still not popping off, or they're still not going on the For You page, well, you might have an overly general hashtag, or an overly general niche. So it's still too broad. So for example, I have my personal TikTok page, and then I have a travel TikTok page. And in the travel TikTok page, what I'm finding, at least up until I know now, is that my hashtags are way too general. I'm generalizing way too much, even though it's all about travel. Like the hashtag travel has way too many hashtags being used in there. So it's getting lost in the bunch. So I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe someone said, look for hashtags that don't have over 300 million uses, because you guys can tell that's way too much. So find something that's a little bit more specific. If we're talking about travel, talking about solo travel, or talk about group travel, or talk about volunteer travel, or talk about traveling on a budget, or talk about family travel, right? Like family friendly travel, or talk about travel hacks, or talk about how to get ready for a big trip. You guys see what I'm saying? It's getting more and more and more specific. That way, when somebody's looking for that content, they can actually find you. Because if your niche is too broad, then they're still going to be looking for that diamond in the haystack. Something else that helps me is I look for viral videos and then I study them. So when I am looking for viral videos, let's say, for example, I'm looking at solo travel. So I'll look it up on TikTok. I'll look up the tag, I'll look up solo travel, and then there'll be a filter at the top right. So on that filter, I'll choose the last 3 months, or sometimes I just choose the last month to find the most relevant information. And then I'll go to the most liked. So it'll populate the most seen and liked TikTok videos. And then what I do is I study them, I find similarities between them, and I apply exactly what I just learned. So if the last 5 videos that got over 1 million views all had black text at the top, I'm going to do the exact same thing. If they all had blue text at the top, I'm going to do the exact same thing. If they all started with this beautiful scenic or with a beautiful scene, then I'm going to do the exact same thing. You guys catch my drift? You can find what has been working most relevant, like most up to date, and then apply that to what it is that you're doing. And every niche is going to be different, which is why I say go into the search bar, type in a very specific niche, and then look for things accordingly. Because what's popping in fashion might not be popping in travel, and vice versa. So go ahead and do so. All right, and then calls to action. You guys can screenshot this if you want. I only gave 3 examples, but basically, like I mentioned before, if you don't tell people what to do, they probably won't do it. So give them some kind of clarity, push them a little bit to go ahead and do and give you that reaction that you're looking for. Example, follow for part 2, right? If you just provided value, you can divide that video into 2, 3, 4, 5 parts continuously or whatever. And then you can say, hey, follow for part 2. So they'll likely, if they watch the entire video, there's a solid chance that they'll want to watch part 2 to it, or part 3, or part 4. You guys catch my drift. Another example is, if you like this, be sure to check out my other videos. Notice, I'm not asking them to follow me. I'm asking them to check out my other videos, because if they check out my other videos and they spent time doing so, it's likely that they'll follow on their own. Another example is, let me know in the comments if this was helpful. Super easy, right? Like some people, and you guys might do this too. I do it too. I'll watch a video, it's helpful, and then I don't do anything about it. But if he or she tells me, let me know in the comments if this is helpful, I'm just like, yeah, dude, this was lit. Thank you so much for the value. I'm following you now. There's a little bit of a difference. So we want to go ahead and push people, give them instructions and tell them, hey, remember, if you like this and you want to keep watching videos like this, just give it a little comment. Easy peasy. All right. Now, hooks. This is where you guys screenshot. So these are some examples of hooks, and you can apply this to basically any niche, which is why I left some blanks so that you guys can go ahead and fill them on your own. Here's another thing, guys, just because we're all doing this entrepreneurial thing doesn't mean we're in the same niche, because remember, entrepreneurship is way too broad of a niche. So each one of us, actually, all 39 of us on this call, we can each have a different niche within entrepreneurship, right? Or within digital entrepreneurship, or within time freedom. You guys see what I'm saying? Is like, we can all get super, super specific. There are some moms in here. Maybe you guys want to focus on mompreneurship, or we have some fashionistas in here. Maybe you guys want to focus on that. Or we have some travelers in here. Maybe you guys want to focus on travel within entrepreneurship. You guys catch my drift. Fitness, gym, all of it. It can all be its own independent niche. So you guys can use these hooks as just a template for captivating the audience that you have. So how I went from blank to blank result in X amount of time. Here's the industry hack that changed my life, right? So here's a fitness hack that changed my life. Here's a nutrition hack that changed my life. Here's a travel hack that changed my life. Why isn't anyone talking about blank tip? Why isn't everyone talking about taxes tip? Why isn't everyone talking about travel tip? Why isn't everyone talking about trading tip, right? We can all think about different examples that we can use this for. Another one is calling all blank who are tired of blank. So imagine calling all traders who are tired of hitting stop loss, calling all traders who are tired of blowing accounts, calling all travelers who are tired of paying too much for hotels. You guys catch my drift? So you can insert whatever it is that's relevant to your niche in these hooks. Go ahead, take a screenshot and use them later. Okay, another place to screenshot. This looks very simple, but I think it's making all the difference. So one, we want our quality on our camera to be clean. So always make sure before you're taking a video, clean the lens on your camera, especially if you're coming from, let's say that you're coming from an air-conditioned room to outside. You know how the fog or the lens fogs up because of the change in temperature. Just make sure that you clean your camera once. That way you don't have any fuzziness when you're taking a video. Second thing is having your title at the top where it's within frame, but not covering your face. So let's see where I'm at. So I don't want to be like up here, or I don't want to be like here. I want to be within frame, and I want to have the text right here. That way it's not covering me and it's not too like it's not taking up too much space, but people know because it's a title what the video is about. Another thing, have good lighting. If you have a ring light, perfect. If you don't, natural lighting is best. So literally just go by a window, be facing natural light, don't have it behind you because then it just makes you look dark. And yeah, we want to make sure that we have quality videos because otherwise people don't watch them. And then we just want to make sure that whether if it's you speaking in front of the camera, that you're just front and center. If it's like a video of you dancing or like of whatever the video's about, we want to have it right here, front and center, not like off to the side, because people are going to be wondering, so like, what's the point of this video? Like, what am I watching? You know? Let me see, the beach. Okay. All right, another place that you can screenshot. So when you're looking for viral videos, what are you looking for? You can look for the movement. So this is something also that I learned. You can speak in front of the camera just like this, and it might catch people's attention. But if you move from here to here in just like a cool transition kind of way, it catches more people's attention, right? Like, we don't want anything that's kind of stagnant. We don't want anything that feels stale. We want to catch people's attention. Hey, look at me, you know? So you can look for that in other viral videos. Check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. So where and when was there movement? Usually we see movement in the beginning of a video. Why? Because we want to catch people's attention. Text, where was the text placed? I just told you how I always have the text placed right above the center. But you can always check to see if other people do it a little bit differently. What was the color? What was the font? I only use like 3 different fonts on TikTok. There's only like 5 options, but I always do it with the outline. I don't know why, it just catches my attention. So that's what I do. And then what was the concept? What is the video about? Why am I watching it, right? So if it was good enough to catch your attention, what did that? What caught your attention? The hook, what do they use for the hook? Can you use it? If somebody made a video and let's say, I don't know, whatever the video was about, right? It could have nothing to do with what it is that you're focusing on, but odds are you can probably modify their hook so that you can use it in your way. So go ahead and do that. And then lastly, how do they deliver their value? Were they speaking in front of the camera? Was it the text on the screen? Did they do it through storytelling? Were they using hand gestures? Were they using an example of somebody else? Go ahead and act like literally take notes of how they delivered the value, what got you to continue to watch it, and then how you can go ahead and implement it. All right, a few other tips and tricks. They say posting 3 times a day is, what's the word, recommended. I couldn't tell you if that's concrete or not. Honestly, I think that it definitely helps me just because I got more comfortable a lot faster doing these kinds of things. I've learned what I like to do, what I don't like to do, what other apps I like to use, what I don't like to use, so on and so forth. So it's kind of like taking the idea of failing faster, failing forward faster. The sooner that you learn what you don't like, the better, right? I rather have me learn that in the first 2 weeks instead of taking the first 2 years to learn it if I'm only going to be posting once a week as opposed to 3 times a day. It just happens so much faster. So you can post 3 times a day. I heard somebody else, and this isn't for everybody. This is for the obsessed, the extremist, if you will. But I heard posting over 5 times a day does even more magic to your page. I haven't done that. I've only posted 3, maybe 4 times a day on my different accounts. So go ahead and do as you please. Like I mentioned before, recycle your ideas. There's absolutely nothing wrong with repetition. If something, like for example, if you made a video and it did fairly well when you had 100 followers, go ahead and make that same video when you have 1,000 followers, because now you have more eyes on you and now they can share it, like it, comment on it more than the people before when you had less followers. I hope that makes sense. But go ahead and recycle your ideas. You can make them better. You can wear something different. You can just become more of an expert by the time you make your second video as opposed to the first time you were making it. Something that I like to do is if I find something, or when I find something that I like, whether it be a sound or a trend or whatever the case may be, I save it. I save it to my favorites on TikTok. And then I also send it to myself because I have 2 accounts. So I'll send it from my personal account to the travel account and vice versa from the travel account to my personal account. And sometimes even when I think of other people, for example, like with Mike, and I see something, I was like, oh, he can implement this. So I'll send it directly to him, and I'll even give him like little text like, hey, you can do this with this instead of that. Something else that I do, I have a note on my phone. Where is it here? Here we go. So I have a note on my phone. It literally says TikTok ideas. And then I have all these ideas. So you can copy and paste the link to the video that you liked, or you can just like make bullet points of things that you want to talk about, tips that have helped you, what I eat in a day, get ready with me, daily vlogs. You could just make a list of ideas. You don't have to complete them all in one day, but you can make a list of them. So if you're someone that's extremely busy and you want to batch content, you don't have to think about what it is that you're going to do. You already have a list to do it. So that helps me a lot. And then of course, be authentic. I know that the people that have really done this well, like I want you guys to think about this as well. Think of the people that have millions of followers on TikTok. Do you think that they're pretending to be someone else, or do you follow them because they're just kind of really crushing the game and they're being their authentic self? I find it that it's more of the latter. I just find girls on there and they're doing their thing, or maybe they're doing their makeup, or maybe they're, like talking about different poses or whatever the case may be, right? And I'm just like, damn, like, go girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are, and this goes especially for the younger generation, like Gen Z, they're just a lot more comfortable in front of the camera. I can't even be mad. I'm giving them their props. I'm giving them their flowers because they're being authentic. You guys got to remember, and this is just a side tangent, but you guys got to remember that each generation grew up with a different generation raising them. So causing different, just like mannerisms. So it's really cool to see. But more than anything, I find that the people that I follow are being their authentic self. They're not pretending to be anyone else. They're not being awkward in front of the camera. They're just being them, and they're doing it really smoothly. And then I also like to comment on others' posts. So specifically small business owners, or just other entrepreneurs or other content creators, which are also entrepreneurs. So I like to comment on this. I'd be like, yo, love this idea, going to implement it for myself. Or, like, where did you get that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I just like to comment on others because who knows, they might and just go and follow you, or other people that are following that person. If it's within maybe like the similar genre, maybe they go and follow you too. You can even like add to it. So if they're saying, oh, this is what helped me start up my first business, you can say, yo, I did the same thing. I relate to this so much. This also helped me. And then you can add some value there too. Same thing if other people are watching, or because other people are watching, they can see your comment and like it and maybe go and follow you. So, all right, that is pretty much it. Let me see. Do you have, I don't know if I have fake accounts of me on TikTok. I only have 2 accounts though. I have my personal, and then I have my Nomad Nance ones, which is all about travel. I always feel weird doing something again, but it's so true. Yes, exactly. Where can I find this recording? I'm going to share with this recording immediately after this. But yeah, guys, if you like this content, then go ahead and follow me on my personal TikTok. Follow me on my travel TikTok, which is Nomad Nance. I'm using that to mostly just educate on travel tips, hacks, and things like that, and eventually get people on TLX. I only have 1 Instagram, and I will not make a second Instagram for myself anyway. So that is _. If anyone else messages you, that's not me. And then I did make a new Twitter for user-generated content, which I will be teaching you guys as soon as I just get the gist of it a little bit more. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And more than anything, go ahead, and if you have any questions, message me. You can literally message anyone that's creating content. Like, don't feel afraid, or don't feel shy to message people. They're probably teaching people how to create content because they want to help people. So if you message them and you're like, yo, how did you learn about this? It's very likely that they'll like just be open to helping you. So let's get to it, guys. I just find that creating content allows me to reach more people, allows me to also just feel more confident, because before this I was very camera shy. Like I would not want to get in front of a camera. I wouldn't want to do any kind of public speaking. So it's helping me in more ways than one. And I know that it'll help you guys as well. So with that being said, thanks so much. And I'll share the recording immediately.